Namaste. I'm Ezichiade. This is the Golden Circle Movement Channel. Today we're discussing individuation, the first stage in human maturity to enlightenment. This is, say, from birth to 7 years, approximately. It will vary from individual to individual, but if this is your kind of thing, if this is the kind of subject that you like to discuss, esoteric science, spirit science, then make sure you subscribe. Ring the all notification bell so you'll know when new videos are uploaded. Now, individuation is, as it sounds, to become an individual. When one is born, one has now been separated from another individual, your mother, and must now find your place in the world. You must now figure out who you are by describing or understanding who others are. Now, here is the thing about that. As we discussed in the 7 stages of human maturity to enlightenment, this is the point where the child learns who they are as an individual, separate from those physically present, from those who might be distant on the phone or on media, as opposed to those who are imaginary, like those on television or cartoons or things of that nature. But the point here is this: when we consider a child, for those of you who do not have children, this will be something to consider anyway. Hear me out. My child, my son, my daughter, they are not possessions. And because we treat them as such, even though they're our responsibility, technically, we do not possess them. And as we grow up with this possession and sense of lack when we've been abandoned or abused or in some way hurt by a parental figure, then we feel an emptiness, a hole. And this leads us to want to fill that hole. This separates us from our true self and puts us into a category of trying to seek approval, trying to be what we are not. This is not individuation. This is basically succumbing to the pressures of life, if you will. So, individuation is not just a matter of saying, oh, the child will now recognize that they are separate from the mother, from the father, from other family members, from cartoons, from imagined characters. There are also other stipulated factors, and that is to understand that we also individuate the child and allow the child beingness, its sense of purpose, allow the child's ideas and thoughts to be recognized as unique and individual, and not try to group the child into the category of, well, children should be seen and not heard, or, obey me because I am your father, As I said so, all of those things are not supportive of the maturity of the child. Now, this would explain why in our society so many adults, meaning chronologically aged individuals, not 0 to 7, but over 21, have not learned how to individuate from their mother, their father, other family members. This is not to say that filial bonds are not worthy. It is only to say that they must be held in perspective. And it might be inappropriate, or at least not conducive to our human maturity, to retain bonds in such a way that they are not healthy for us. Now, it will be difficult to say, oh, well, what is the proper way to engage in strong filial bonds, or bonds of a friend nature, or any type of connection that we may have? All I can tell you is this: part of our human maturity is knowing where to set boundaries. This is something to consider. If you have any thoughts in this matter, type boundaries in the comments. Make sure you share this video with others so that they can benefit from this knowledge. 0 to 7 years is a good time for a infant, a toddler, a kid to learn that they have self-worth, that they are unique, that they are special, that their thoughts, their words, their actions matter. This is what it is to be an individual, to prepare to take part in society and do their best to participate and add value to civilization. This is something that we can learn at a very young age, if allowed and facilitated by those who nurture, who take care of the young. Now, when someone has aged out, as it were, has over the age of 7 and still a bit clingy, or to say that they have an irrational attachment to certain members of the family, meaning they have not individuated to that degree. They are still seeking wholeness outside of themselves, finding wholeness by their attachment to someone in the family, so to say. But when someone has aged out, they're older, it is not so easy to change that learned behavior. So it will be up to you to decide what is the best course to take. If you'd like to discuss more about this, make sure you send me a message in the comments. Thank you for your participation. Namaste.